Hello everybody, this is Loki and welcome back to Wright. So we're gonna go ahead and continue with the trial here. And we're gonna plead not guilty. To plead justified self-defense. We should repeatedly be confessing the murder. After the trial, my life would be ruined and she'd be labeled a murderer. I can't let that happen. Your Honor. Have you reached a conclusion, Mr. Wright? The defense will not change its plea. We will accept nothing short of complete acquittal. You have sealed your fate, Mr. Wright. Detective! Yes, sir? Present the final portion of your testimony to final strike. Yes, sir. Aw, poor Gumshoe doesn't want to. Now, see here. Proceedings are run by... Ah! Oh, yes, of course. Go ahead, detective. Give your testimony. I think the court would like to hear the other piece of incriminating evidence. She's just like her dad. Sorry, pal, but there's even more incriminating piece of evidence. This costume the defendant was wearing at the time of the crime. As you can see, it's covered in blood. The defendant attacked and killed a person who, without a doubt, was not fighting back. So this costume is certainly evidence of a bad spray of blood on this. This piece directly links my fate to the crime, sir. Let's see, the court accepts this into evidence. It's costume added to the court record. Alright, Mr. Wright. Maya's fingerprints on both murder weapon and blood splatters on her clothes. Could this situation get any worse? Ha! What's wrong? You seem to be at a loss. I think this is the last piece of testimony prosecution should have to offer. Feel free to sulk off with your tail between your legs, Mr. Wright. Please stop calling me by my full name, it's disturbing. It would have been hilarious if he was like, please stop calling me by my full name, you're not my mother. There's blood on the costume. Lab results show it was the victim's blood. So there is blood from the victim on the defendant's clothes. Definitely not good. So, were there any other clues could glean from the piece of evidence? Well, you must change the topic, then the good detective here must testify again. But too bad, not enough time, let's move on. Ah yes, Miss Von Karma is perfectly correct. Now even the judge is on her side. But if I bite off more than I can chew here, what should I do? Try to press further. Let me see. Yeah, I tried to press further. Why is Miss Von Karma suddenly putting up resistance? There must be a reason as to why she suddenly threw out an objection like that. There must be something about this costume. The bullet hole on the sleeve? I just have to look harder. Mr. Wright, Ms. Von Karma's logic is perfect. There's no way for you to poke a hole in it. Oh, there is! That's like my time is up, so I love the costume. Your Honor. Actually, there is something very wrong with this piece of evidence. What? What are you talking about, pal? Where is the problem you're talking about? I've come this far, there's no turning back now. The problem I have is this bullet hole here.
Take that!
I have to quickly take a look at the sleeve of the costume. The sleeve. There's a tiny hole here. Ah, a hole? That wasn't the port? Hold on. What's it around the hole? It smells faintly of gunpowder. Gunpowder? No one have ever told me! A hole that smells of gunpowder. It looks like I found the hole I was looking for! Your Honor, the only logical conclusion to make is that must be a bullet hole. Order, order, order! This is a very grave matter. It's best to check the court record first before anything else. Sorry about that. I guess we messed up, sir. Is she actually smiling? What else is she hiding? Pull yourself together, detective. That tiny hole doesn't change a thing. The strength of the evidence still holds. Continue with your testimony that just now was a fluke. Nothing more. How can you say something like that? This is huge oversight. While I agree it's a mistake on the part of the police, what Prosecutor Fartama said is true. The evidence still stands. If you do not find a more definitive problem with the evidence, then... No way. Detective Gumshoe, please continue with the testimony. Yes, sir. Poor guy. Okay, let's see.
Objection!
Detective Gumshoe? Yes? Having you call me by my full name is kind of a weird feeling. You said that my client killed a person who without a doubt was not fighting back. Yeah, I did. And then what, may I ask, is a bullet hole you police overlooked supposed to mean? What does it mean? I'll tell you what it means. It means the victim had fired off a shot. Is this what it means to not fight back? Ah, you're right! It seems you're correct. If the victim had tried to shoot the defendant, then it would change everything. Alright, the wind seems to be shifting. Huh. What is it with that "are you finished yet" laugh? Are you finished yet, Mr. Phoenix, right? Sage, I don't have time for this, Phoenix. Miss Fontana. Seems that Maya Fey was shot by the victim. However, that is the only ground enough to support a justified self-defense plea. That is correct. But I'm sure you remember, Your Honor, what the defense clearly said. They rejected justified self-defense and pleaded not guilty. Ah, now that... Why, that's right. Which means the defense has yet proved anything else. Oh, God. Well, yes, that's true. Furthermore, just the fact that there's a bullet hole in the costume is not enough to something like a plea of justified defense. Huh? How so? Ah! Don't just stand there. Hurry up and tell the court what transpired that day. With the new information we acquired added in, of course. Huh? You mean by myself? You want me to put together the scenario by myself? Yes, sir. Right away, sir. He's all happy while he's saying it. In a channeling, the defendant saw her chance to stab the victim in the chest. Of course, the victim used the last of his strength to fight back there. While the two were fighting, the victim took out his gun. The victim took a shot, but because they were too close, he missed. The defendant picked up on the opening, took the victim's gun, and ended it. The scenario you have put together does make sense. Yes, sir. Well, Mr. Wright, on the surface, this doesn't make sense. However, I won't give up that easily. Please refrain from glaring at me like that. Now then, your cross-examination, please. You come to do this.
Objection!
Missing the tiny hole in this costume will be the prosecution's undoing. Huh? What do you mean? The little hole was actually created a huge hole in your testimony. Explain yourself, Mr. Wright. You said the two of them were fighting when the victim fired his gun at point blank. If that were true, then where is the gunpowder burn on this costume? Gunpowder burn. This is what you testified earlier. When something is shot from point blank, a burn area is left around the bullet hole. That's true. But there's not a single trace of gunpowder burn on this costume. True. That is a very good point. And what exactly does this mean? It means that when the shot was fired, they were standing apart from each other.
Objection!
I'm disappointed, Mr. Phoenix, right? You think you could punch a hole in my logic with that? With wishy-washy thinking like that, anyone can explain anything away. Then I implore you to disprove my line of thinking. Let's see. In the middle of their fight, the victim pushed the defendant away. And it was then, when they were separated, that he fired. How was that? As if it was even possible. According to the testimony, the wound from the stabbing was very severe. The victim would not have the strength to push the defendant far away after that. Well, then, that's right. The defendant must have pushed the victim away. After stabbing him, she must have put some space between the doctor and herself. Then, while she was preparing to strike again, the doctor took a shot. There, that should satisfy even you. That does make an awful lot of sense. What do you think, Mr. Wright? I must be careful. I can't afford to make a mistake here. Let's see. Choose that one. There's a fatal flaw in her argument, Your Honor. Fatal? Flaw? Ah! Very interesting. I would love to see where this flaw is. Show me something that contradicts my explanation. There has to be a snag in her explanation somewhere. She put some distance between them before rushing to make the final blow. And when she was about to strike, the doctor took his shot. There must be a piece of evidence that contradicts this line of thinking. The folding screen?
Take that!
Here's a piece of evidence that destroys your logic. What is that? A folding screen? I would like to point the court's attention to the hole in the folding screen. Ah. It looks like you already know what I'm talking about. Who? Where? What? Mr. Wright, your explanation, please. Are these two actually that clueless? The bullet went through the defendant's sleeve first, then the folding screen. It passed through the height of the approximately 8 inches off the ground, which means when the shot was fired, the defendant was not getting ready to strike, but was actually squatting low to the ground. Order, order! This changes everything! Please look at this diagram of the crime scene. Victim Dr. Gray was here when he fired that shot. The bullet hit this floating screen. It hit this location, but 8 inches off the ground. At this time, the defendant was in this area. Okay, I have to look at the walkthrough here real quick. Let's hope that's right. Somewhere around here. Oh, the judge's face is turned like he smelled something there. That is, I mean. But I just realized I forgot to brush this morning. Excuse me while I brush it up. Oh, sure. In the meantime, I want you to think about things through it again with the right. Get that one wrong. Probably have to look this up with the images. Whoops. But done is done for now. I should focus on my miles at the time. Okay. Do I do it again?
Take that!
She was standing here near the phone screen. Oh, there we go. Wait a second. We know the defendant was close to the ground based on the height of the bullet hole. But how can you gauge the distance from that? Isn't it possible the defendant was standing much closer to the victim? And that's impossible. But why? You of all people should know the answer to that question, Miss Montgomery. If she were just shot from somewhere closer, there would be gunpowder burned present. However, there is nothing of the sort around the bullet hole of this costume. Yeah, there's none. Cursey, Mr. Phoenix, right? You... I believe it has now been proven that the defendant was standing away from the victim when she was shot at. But do you think this had changed the defendant's situation? Changes everything. Honestly, Your Honor, this changes everything. The prosecution has claimed that the defendant was aiming to kill by stabbing. If that were true, delivering the final strike with the knife would be ideal. However, where and what was the defendant doing at the time? Squatting all the way by the photo screen? Exactly. If Maya Fey was the real murderer, why would she be by the voting screen instead of preparing to strike? Upon further consideration, it does make very little sense. Yeah, I figured there had to be a reason. Figuring things out and proving the logic behind everything is your job. I do. Alright, with this, the rest of 12 should be in the blast radius of disaster. You're such a smart man, Mr. Venus, right? To think you've been able to completely hopeless case in this situation. Now that I know why Papa had a tough time with you. You amuse me. All of the things that inherit, why'd it have to be that smarmy smile? Detective? How dare you damage my perfect logic? Huh? How is it all my fault? You can start repairing your standing by first removing that 3-strand goatee. Oh, and rest assured your punishment will come later. Punishment? Well then, Your Honor, I think I had all I could take of this detective's face. I think it's time to call in the next witness. Next witness? That's gotta be Lotta. Very well. The court will take a 5-minute recess. After we can reconvene, we will hear from the next witness. So I guess we have to like take our break. Alright, I'm gonna go ahead out here for now. If you guys enjoyed the video, feel free to hit that like button below and subscribe for more videos to come. See you guys later. Bye guys.